John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motor Week. We're glad to have you with us. The name of England's most famous automaker, Rolls-Royce, has been in the news a lot lately, and not just for the confusing circumstances of its purchase by both BMW and Volkswagen, but also for this car, the Silver Seraph, the first all-new Rolls-Royce in almost 20 years. But all this sudden change has some people wondering, can Rolls-Royce preserve the traditional values that have made it one of the auto industry's most enduring icons? Well, the best place to find that out is behind the wheel.
And once behind it, it quickly becomes apparent the 1999 Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph is the most driver-friendly Silver Series car ever to roll out of Crewe. And that's quite an accomplishment for a status symbol car whose highbrow genetic makeup has always placed more importance on posh passenger comforts than driving pleasure. And while achieved by breaking tradition with some of Rolls' long-standing tenants, old guard faithful and new money wannabes need not fear. This angel comes well-versed in the art of coddling. And the Silver Seraph's slightly reworked yet instantly recognizable grille and its now tauter shouldered waistline that runs unbroken from front to rear and underscores the slightly elevated boot provide reassuring links to the past. Although the winged emblem that graces the grille now relies on a bit of modern technology rather than divine intervention to protect it from muggers and thieves. Inside, the Silver Seraph's handcrafted interior offers up more leather and wood than a bar at a yacht club. The newly designed pressure-mapped bucket seats are wrapped in thick Connolly hide. Both front seats get four-way power adjustments, as well as two separate air bladders in the seatbacks for bi-level lumbar support. The driver faces an electric tilt-adjustable steering wheel and a fully comprehensive gauge cluster that also houses a digital message center. But the Alpine AM/FM cassette stereo is poorly mounted, and its buttons small and confusing. It is, however, very loud, which is quite useful in drowning out those curbside comics who insist on knocking on the windows seeking a jar of Grey Poupon. There's also a 6-disc CD changer conveniently located under the armrest in the console. And should the atmosphere get too pretentious, the new digitally controlled dual-zone climate control system with pollen and dust microfilters and dehumidifier does a smart job of keeping the stuffiness to a minimum. In the back, rear seat passengers are pampered with lots of leather-lined space, heated electrically adjustable seats, separate climate controls, and a pair of handsome wooden picnic tables. Behind them is a boot with a rather modest 13.2 cubic feet of storage capacity. If it's a long trip, better have Jeeves follow with the extras in the Range Rover. In fact, Jeeves might be spending a lot of time in the Range Rover because once you discover what a pleasure the Silver Seraph is to drive, you're not going to want him behind the wheel. One contribution to the Silver Seraph's newfound driving prowess is a 65% increase in torsional rigidity in the all-new steel monocoque body. That's now for the first time manufactured at Crewe along with the rest of the car. A second major contributing factor and a break with tradition can be found under the hood, for there also for the first time resides a 12-cylinder engine other than Rolls-Royce's own. It's a BMW 5.4-liter aluminum single overhead cam V12. The very same that drives BMW 750iL. It motivates the Silver Seraph through a 5-speed adaptive automatic transmission while producing 322 horsepower and 361 pound-feet of torque at 3,900 RPM. And we used every bit of it as we were quickly spirited to 60 in 6.9 seconds and on through the quarter mile in 15.2 seconds at 95 miles per hour. Not too shabby for a vehicle that weighs in at 5,075 pounds. Stopping power was equally impressive, 62.0 in a Porsche-like 116 feet. Although nosedive is fairly prominent and the pedal feel is quite mushy, this four-wheel disc ABS-equipped system is definitely up to the task. And so too the redesigned double wishbone independent front and rear suspension. Now fitted with unequal length control arms and a newly recalibrated computer-controlled adaptive hydraulic damping system, the Silver Seraph almost feels light on its feet. The steering is light and precise, so precise in fact that when tackling our low-speed slalom with the ASC traction control system deactivated, the back end wants to step out rather quickly. And although vastly improved over previous models, body roll is still abundant. But the only things you're going to be dodging in the real world are potholes and peasants. And for that, the Silver Seraph is overqualified for the task. And its highway ride? Why, wallow free, and you'll likely never feel or hear the potholes. In fact, you may find yourself inexplicably breaking out into the Hallelujah chorus at the top of your lungs. Of course, that's before you pay for it. As price is one area where the Silver Seraph does not break with tradition. Suggested retail price on our tester is $216,400, and that doesn't include all the little entitlements Uncle Sam feels you owe him for being able to afford such a car. The 1999 Silver Seraph is without a doubt the best Silver Series car Rolls-Royce has ever built. And when put in the proper perspective, over $200,000 may not be such a bad deal. After all, who can put a price on an angel?